everything available to them now. So you've kind of got the element that you had with Godbro, the strong Shen players, the Malphites, and you've also got those AP champions, the Lissandras, the Rydes. Of course, with Tyria Goddess change, we're on 3.9. Who knows what we're going to get? Of course, bans coming in already. We are seeing Jason Elise still being taken away. Elise still has an incredible win rate. So no surprise there. Shen and Evelyn also taken out. Lissandra at the moment is still available. And we talked about this last week in Tenerife. He's got an 86% win rate in Europe. And yet NA is still barely playing. It's incredible.
Yeah, Lissandra has been very, very strong over here, and wouldn't surprise me to see it featured. And there it is, final ban coming out from EG will be that Lissandra. We see Evelyn taken out. We heard Mima say that he likes these stealthy champions, the Rengar, the Evelyn, to really have that freedom of mobility and avoiding wards. But Twisted Fate was left open, and Bjergsen says, pick that one up. I want to play me some Twisted Fate. On the other side, though, Crepo going to get Thresh, and we talked about it earlier, Malphite. Most probably for Wicked, but it wouldn't be the biggest surprise if it went on to Froggen as well.
Yeah, it's interesting that Twisted Fate does get locked, and we've talked about it a number of times with, say, Alex Ich. And actually, if you remember back to the Fnatic Gambit game in Tenerife, nobody selected Twisted Fate. It's the first time I think we've seen him slip through in the European LCS. And both Froggen and Alex have talked about, you know, they're both actually very good on the champion, but they're also saying you can bait teams into this. I wonder if Evil Geniuses have done that again, because Froggen was in that conversation. He did play a fantastic Twisted Fate the other week, 2 weeks back when we were here in the studio. We ended up getting that triple kill at the Baron. But teams tend to lock in so quickly on the champion just to make sure they can get Twisted Fate that sometimes they probably haven't had chance to practice with it. But there's an interesting one. For the first time, we are seeing a different European LCS team playing Aatrox. We saw it in the North American LCS come out this week. If you haven't watched it in there, I believe it was Kiwi Kid that played it for Dignitas, who's played it. Certainly the games I saw anyway. There's a lot of games that happen. I don't get to watch them all, I'm afraid. But again, we are seeing not Draven being selected this time. So Draven available. The European teams still say it's strong, yet they haven't gone with it. So that's interesting because it's Freeze. I did ask Freeze about this while we were having food as well. And he was like, he just stayed quiet. I was like, so you're going to play him? You're not going to play him? Obviously, Froggen was on the table with us, so he's like, sat there, not saying a word.
Not putting my mouth about that one. But yeah, Aatrox, we've obviously seen him twice so far in Europe. That was both times with Darian. On the other side, we're seeing a Twitch now. Obviously, these double AD combos have been coming out a lot more, and we know that Froggen has been playing a lot of Twitch. Like, a lot. Like, really, really a lot of Twitch. And we can just say now that his win ratio is pretty good with it as well. He's kind of bragging about that to us
20 games. He just got his 20th game on his new account, and 20 for 0 so far on Twitch.
Not bad stats.
Not a bad stat. So he did play it, of course, in Tenerife as well last week, and they did win that game, I believe, but he didn't play very well on it in that match. It was kind of feeding, and that surprises me that they've allowed him to play it through. So obviously he's still got a bit of sway in that team. Obviously, now that they have the analysis person in there with N-Rated helping them out, they've obviously looked at it and gone, okay, it could have gone better. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we saw Xin Zhao being locked in there for Shaka. He's played Xin Zhao before. That was the game that they actually lost last week in Tenerife. Elise, of course, was the one that he won with. Already banned out here for NIP, though. So, what are NIP going to finish off with right now? Deficio hanging with the Nami, a champion which he has already played 6 times. Got a 50% win rate with that one as well, so wouldn't certainly surprise me to see that one coming in, and the Rise as well by the looks of things here.
Yeah, and something we actually kind of briefly skipped over was the fact that Crepo's got Thresh. Yep. That's a champion that effectively he won the game for EG in Tenerife on. The fact that you saw the entire team jump up and celebrate on literally pile onto Crepo. So they're so happy with how his hooks were setting up kills. So we're going to have to see how that works out for him. It works out very well. Yellow Pete, of course, hasn't selected yet. It could still be Twitch on Yellow Pete, because Yellow Pete has played Twitch a number of times before. So this is effectively gave them that open opportunity that it can either be for Yellow Pete, for Froggen in the mid lane. So kind of that Rise pick was a little bit blind in the mid, or, well, in the top lane. In fact, hold on a minute. It's going to be a Aatrox and jungle. I don't believe we've definitely not seen that in Europe. I'm not sure whether we've even seen that in North America yet.
Darion's played it both times that we've seen Aatrox up till now in the summer split. Oh, since his release, I think we can really say he's only been available for 2 weeks now. But yeah, Aatrox has been in the top lane before. We're going to see jungle here. And right now it looks like Froggen is actually going to be going with the Kassadin. Again, we see these Kassadin sneak through to the last pick every single time, pretty much, to go up against that Twisted Fate.
Yeah, very good counter and very clever picking from Evo Genius. He's putting that Twitch out there. The fact that they knew, we knew, everybody knows that he's been playing Twitch non-stop, absolutely loves that champion in the mid lane, and sure enough, it's going to Yellow Pete. So, good bit of foul play. So, whether NIP were ready for this, whether they were expecting it, whether Bjergsen's just quickly had to change his runes of masteries around, which may be the way he's looking around. I think he maybe was expecting Kassadin anyway. He seemed quite happy and just sitting there. We are also seeing double teleport.
Yeah, double teleport. That could be very interesting. If Froggen and Wicked, obviously they still have 20 seconds to change that thing around, so they might make the decision to pull one away, but the fact is, when you've got the Twisted Fate in there, he's going to be moving around once he hits level 6 anyway with Destiny, that having at least that one teleport on the team is going to make big sense to them. So we'll see how that all works out once we get close to the match. And you can see NIP on your screen. Again, this whole roster change that they did, they took 3 men out of the team, which is a hefty change. And now, technically, they've got their 4th change of the season coming in, with Mima now in that top lane. EG themselves, of course, not without changes, having that fluid roster that they now have with N-rated, technically the analysis, but I suppose could play that role of jumping in as well if things need to change. And Snoopy and Shaka sharing that jungle role. So there's a lot of, in my opinion, unpredictability about some parts of this game. One thing that we should also point out is that NIP right now are 2-0 against EG.
They are. They have had a really good record against them, and with the new and old roster, I believe that they've been successful against Evo Geniuses. EG, though, as we mentioned, they've started to make a bit of a comeback. They went 2-1 in Tenerife, and honestly, the loss that they had was a pretty wild game. It's that match against Alternate Ekash itself. That was the one that there was almost, I think it was almost 100 kills just in that game on its own. It was a pretty wild game. And they've also actually been tweeting about practice scrims this week against Gambit, and they had over 100 kills in that. So maybe with Shaker in the team, the new EG lineup is a lot more aggressive. We're going to see how that works out. Of course, Mima has gone Flash Ignite, so he's probably going to be looking to be aggressive here. Whether he's going to be in a 2v1, though, so we'll see whether that works out. Wicked on Malphite, he's happy in a 2v1. He actually hasn't died a great deal on Malphite either. He's been literally rock solid.
Oh. So, going quite deep into utility tree as well, we see the total biscuit of rejuvenation on him, so that gives some points to how defensive he's probably going to be playing in this lane. Obviously, if it's a 2v1, you'd expect nothing different from that one. Doran Shield start as well for Kassadin at the kickoff from this one. Rise starting out with the Sapphire Crystal there as well, wants to go as heavy as he can on that mana side of things. So this, as we said, we're on 3.9 now, so we may see some changes in terms of builds, especially for the likes of Rise here, who obviously previously would have been trying to get that tier stacked up as early as possible. As NIP right now on the invade, they've been spotted by a ward there. Crepo's still on the top side of his red buff, and actually didn't fully recall there. He kind of hit the button and then decided against it. They've got a deep ward in there at NIP, so they know, or they're gonna know at least, where Shaka is.
Absolutely, and a lot of pings, a lot of pings, but no one actually going anywhere. We did just see Pete and Crepo backing off, so maybe that was a case of, okay, we've seen who's at the top here, and they're going to try and rotate the lane. It does look like they're going to be standard duo lanes, though. We're already seeing Wicked. He's moving up to the top, so it seems that they want 1v1 this time around. Whether that's going to be Wicked's call, many times we've heard him saying straight away that the fact that I want these 1v1s. You can see he's got the 80% win rate on Malphite. It's a very good stat, and as we mentioned, he's so solid on it. Doesn't really die a great deal. He does just sit and farm, and that's really all he's got to do at Malphite right now, because it's all about the unstoppable force when he gets to level 6, when he can teleport into those team fights.
Now we see both junglers using that smite early on. Red buff for Shaka, blue buff over for Maluno on that Aatrox. We'll see how he really makes his presence felt in this one. As we said, third time we've seen the Aatrox so far here in this summer split, and first time, though, today that we're seeing him actually in that jungle there. So Freeze, of course, a man who's done amazingly well so far for NIP. Was another, like me, victim of sunburn over in Tenerife, so hopefully he's feeling a little bit better from that one, and we'll see how he goes up against Yellow Pete and Crepo today.
To be fair, the entire NIP team were kind of victims. They are all very red, and Maluno just showed me how much he's bigling. It's not a pretty sight for the NIP team, but they are all happy and glad to be back here in Cologne. This Deficio freeze lane has been very successful. It's been a really good change from the test. Was a great AD carry, but since Freeze has come in, the understanding seems to be very strong between these two champions and two players. Sorry, and Deficio on Nami has played so well over the last few weeks. It's one of the champions that he seems to really feel very comfortable on, with those Aqua Prisms landing very well. Maluno, with the double buff, is hovering around the mid lane, but there is a ward you can see just on that side of the banana bush, although Maluno snuck in there. He didn't get spotted by that. He used his ability to jump across. We'll see whether Froggen falls for it, though. Froggen himself, who is only level 3 right now, obviously won't have that Rift Walk, so he's going to get maybe forced to flash.
We'll see about that one, of course. Doesn't have an Ignite in there as well. We've had this discussion what feels like a million times by now about mid laners who really prefer this teleport. And you can definitely, you know, see why against a team that's got that Twisted Fate in there. Although Wicked going to be running it as well. And the funny thing is that we are getting these 1v1s in the top lane, which kind of didn't expect, to be honest.
Maluno's been in that bush for a good 30+ seconds already, and he's done this before, but there was no chance for gank now that time around. This time, finally, he's actually pushing out a little bit, Froggen. So we do sort of see Sheka doing this exact same thing in the top here. Maluno's going to come in, but I think Froggen's going to walk away from this one easy. Forces the flash. Job done.
Yeah, flashing away, which obviously not going to be available to him for a good while now, but I think he'll be happy with that rather than the chance of giving away a first blood as Shaka comes down. And we've seen that he is not afraid whatsoever to get involved when it comes to these 1v1 skirmishes. We saw him, I think, by the Wolf camp on the blue side, you know, as the red team in their game that they lost last week. And he's definitely not shy about getting involved and having a good brawl inside of the jungle. Froggen there just keeping things safe. We can see a couple of early items coming out as well. Negatron Cloak for Wicked in this top lane, so no real surprise. He's going to be getting very bulky and tanky as early as he can to really just get rid of any threat that Ryze can pose.
Yeah, there's a double Doran's ring for Bjergsen as well, so maybe we're going to see him being a little bit more aggressive once he starts getting close to that level 6. It was interesting to see that, you say the two junglers, they met, and Sheka actually had a level advantage over Maluno. Didn't want to face each other. That Bloodwell now built up by Maluno, so of course with that passive, it was probably a case of, yeah, I don't want to really risk the double buff I've got, though. And he is coming round. There is no wards anymore in this river, although the wraiths have just been taken. Has he got the timing? Not really, because Red's not going to be up for a while yet, so maybe it's going to be a gank on this bottom lane. There's no ward in the tri-bush. You can see it's in the river just off the side, so he won't get spotted here.
No, actually got no vision of Shaka's position right now, and he's got the ability to come straight through from this one as, well, Crepo went for the flay there and not quite able to really lock anyone down. Nicely done from the NIP bot lane, though, not to get caught out from that.
Interesting item build for Wicked. Look at that, building straight into this lane. Knew exactly what he needed. Gets that Negatron Cloak, so can be full-on defensive against Maimak. Quite happy to sit and farm. As we've pointed out, you can see it's actually very even in farm across all lanes. The big difference really is the mid lane, where Bjergsen has that early advantage over Froggen and Cassidy. No surprise there, Twisted Fate a much stronger early farmer than Cassidy will be.
Yeah, we'll probably see Froggen catching that one back up in a little while. And we see there down the EG side, 4 wards picked up, well, almost 1 ward for everyone, and plus loads of pots, both health and mana on that side. We do see that the tier has been started here for Cassidy now, for Froggen. So obviously not feeling the changes too much of that 3.9 and the slower stack rate that you get from the tier now.
Yeah, with how many ward stacks, I was just wondering whether they're thinking of maybe an early dragon. I'm seeing where they put it. Actually, Sheka's just put his down in that top area, so he's actually covered off for Froggen. Maluno's going for the invade here. He's going to go up and put the ward down for the blue, so they're maybe looking at something to go there. As soon as Froggen goes for that blue buff, you can see he's taking a look. Good bit of a harass here from Bjergsen. Has to rift walk away, but that red card did land it, find his target. And Maluno is still lingering around there. He's really warding out that blue buff, so NIP setting up for that invade in just a few moments.
Yeah, got really good vision on this bottom side here for when that blue actually does come into play. All right, now, They could. I mean, there's no real vision on the Dragon either from both sides. Both supports have a pink ward. We can see that actually Freezer's just picked up a pink ward of his own there as well. And let's not forget that both Wicked and Froggen have wards, so that's where they have teleport. So that's where those wards come into play even more. Get a ward down, you can teleport in on the backside. Just a lot of options open now for EG, but NIP of course have that with Bjergsen already at level 7 as well.
Yeah, damage boost there for Freeze actually. He went back and got the BF sword, his first item, whereas Vampiric Scepter was built up by Yellow Pete a few moments away. Blue buff will be picked up by Bjergsen, so keep our eye on the blue buff of EG, because that's almost certainly going to go the way of harassment from NIP. Freeze and Deficio, they're shoving this lane. They're going to be able to get involved as well. We're up to the 8-minute mark. It will be spawning in just a couple of seconds, so EG not really near it. That's going to seemingly be the first area of attack for either team. Of course, that ultimate is available for Bjergsen, takes that null sphere, and Froggen just keeping those lanes cleared. So a slow start here, Joe, but kind of what we're expecting. This is the first game of the week, of course. There's going to be 8 matches this week, 12 matches the week after, and the final week is all about Super Week. Here we go. This is what we're expecting, Joe. They're going to go in and contest the blue.
Yeah, Bjergsen coming around, got the stun card pulled. Needs to be a little bit carefully with Shaka over the side. Of course, they have full vision coming in there as well. And in the end, that blue buff going to be secured up for Froggen. And that will be a nice sign for him as well. And that's a lot of wards gone down into an unsuccessful blue steal.
Yeah, it was a big investment. Didn't quite pay off. And honestly, Maluna wasn't really close enough. Just tried to get the steal with the wild card. Wasn't quite enough. Wicked taken very, very low by Mimer in the top lane, so starting off well for him. He is actually behind in farm, as we mentioned. Wicked is a great farmer, so he's keeping that on top, although that will start balancing itself out soon as Wicked goes back to buy. We'll see whether he uses that teleport to go back to lane. No, he's keeping it safe, so they're prepared. The fact they're going to have to use it for Dragon in a few moments.
Yeah, I'm going to be making sure that that is still available to them. So the Catalyst being picked up by Mimer early on to add into that tier. Wicked with a giant spell is like, I'm getting a little bit burst down here, so, well, what better way than coming back with a giant spell to try and stop that one from happening. Right now, Shaka moving over towards this mid lane as well. Bjergsen still got Flash available, still got all his summoners, plus that Destiny available to him as well, which not being utilized up until now, almost 10 minutes in, and still no first blood. These teams not wanting to risk anything at this stage, and who would blame them when you look at the league table?
Interesting, Freeze also sitting on his ace in the hole. He's not using it to just harass on Pete or Crepo or anything like that. He's just keeping it there, so he's full stack mana. So whether NIP are ready and waiting to do something, or whether they want to try and push the pressure down, or whether he's just thinking it's simply not worth it because he's got that Vampiric Scepter, which is probably the most likely. So we are seeing a flash. The teleport comes in down the bottom, and Stoppable Force used as well. That barrier coming out from Freeze. Is it going to be first blood? They will finally get it down. Good Aqua Prism from Deficio, but wasn't quite enough. Caught 3 members of Evil Geniuses in it, but Yellow Pete was at the back.
Sad thing is here for NIP, there's nothing you can really do about that. It's like one of those horrible scenarios where you just can't do anything against it, and it leaves them perfectly now with a five-man team now that Shaka's there to start doing the Dragon. There is a ward put down by Maluno at the backside, but Dragon at half HP. Maluno does have his smite, but decides not to get involved with it. This is going to be the first blood and the first Dragon of the game here coming over for EG.
Froggen going aggressive just at the end towards Bjergsen. We're getting a good Rift Walk and a Force Pulse onto him. But, again, it's EG that back off. They do get that Dragon. Are they going to trade turret? No. Should be seeing Wicked going back there earlier on. He teleported off earlier before the Dragon actually went down. So that's going to give the gold advantage. It's still just 100 gold, not a massive advantage, which shows that actually NIP are doing a very good lane phase. Of course, they do have that passive still available that Bjergsen has. It will be changed in 3.10, I believe. It's on the public beta environment right now. So that will be coming in soon. But as it stands, they're still getting a big passive boost of his gold across globally. Globally? That's the word I'm after.
You got it. That's not bad. As Yellow Pete just snuck into that middle lane, and we have seen a bit of a change up on that front. Looks like they want to try and get rid of this Twisted Fates. What is the advantage that he's really building up here? He's not close, he's not far away from having a solid 20 CS lead at this point. So we'll see how that one changes. Maluno trying to get in there onto Wicked as well, who honestly, he is pretty heavily built up now in terms of what health he's got in there. Obviously that magic resist coming up from the Negatron cloak as well, so we'll see what happens with that one. And you can see he's just pretty much stuck to the turret, as we do see that pressure down the bottom as well, but I can't see Wicked being lured out into this one.
No, he's sticking quite a far back. The fact that the jungler hasn't been spotted for a while, Maluno, he always tends to have that sixth sense, manages to keep his eyes peeled. It has actually put a ward in that tri-bush, so he's well aware of this. Now they're going to get a double stack on him. Wicked's going to have to be careful here. He's got no help for a very long distance, so he's actually going to step away from this one. Has got unstoppable force if he needs it. Meanwhile, Bjergsen, he's getting caught out. You're going to see the cast spray and pray coming out from Yellow Pete. Great stun card from Bjergsen. Will it be enough? No, the poison gets him. Yes, it will be. Pete gets his second kill.
And that's the problem with Twitch. You just think you've got away with that slither of health, but of course you don't because of the poison ticking in there. And Pete, good pressure in this top lane though. They've managed to take that one down despite losing that man in the middle. The question is now whether they can actually defend this mid lane. Both Crepo and Yellow Pete put in good damage onto that one. Shaka's actually just off to the south here doing the raids on the NIP side of the jungle, so he's a possibility to come in there and help them as well. Aatrox now coming down this mid lane. They're going to spot him and back away.
Yeah, Shaka was lingering. It's like you say, he got those wraiths. He was ready and waiting for something to happen. He's taken the major wraith away, hand backs off. So, it is actually first tower to NAP. That does give him a tiniest of gold advantages. EG currently with the kill score lead. Just 2-0, both stacked on towards Yellow Pete. It's going to get him that bloodthirst that much quicker. We'll see how that helps out, getting a Twitch stacked in there. As we mentioned, Frog has been playing it all the time, so I wonder how it works between those two. How they debate about who's the better Twitch player and how they should build it. I don't know. It should be interesting between them. Interesting conversations. Frog, though, he's going to be picking up the blue buff. He needs that. He's going to get that force pulse out. Does finally take it down, and we'll see where he goes aggressive. It's looking like the bottom lane. They've tried it once before. No, he's just going to have to clear out the lane.
Yellow Pete is playing very aggressive here today. I mean, we should expect from this Twitch stealthing himself up in there, getting the slows off onto Bjergsen, who they've already killed before. And that's kind of not really the Yellow Pete that we're so used to seeing. He's certainly more of a passive AD carry when you compare him with the likes of other players here in the European LCS. But so far, you know, 2-0, definitely can't knock that position. He's going to be feeling very, very comfortable as things go forward. Deficio now coming into this mid lane as well. They want to make sure that doesn't go down. However, the pressure is coming in this bottom lane as both Froggen and Wicked able to put some damage down. Actually, Wicked's going to wait in the brush here, so they're going to try and set something up.
It's a worrying start, honestly, for Ninjas in Pyjamas for me here, because EG, generally, if they win the lanes and they're doing pretty, I'd say pretty much even across all lanes, they are losing the top lane maybe. Wicked actually been outfarmed by Mima so far, so maybe that's one point of contention. But EG, if they do well in lane phase, they transition so well into great team fights. NIP have got very good team fights, but of course you've got to remember, like we were saying, they got a new sub in there. They've got a new person, which is a big damage dealer right now in terms of Rise. He's going to be huge in terms of endgame, and its question is, have they got that team synergy that EG obviously will have?
Oh, the hog coming through there from Crepo, but look at the damage coming out. The Ignite actually ticking away on him there. Think he's going to survive, but here comes a teleport from Froggen and Wicked in from the side of that one as well. Froggen now getting focused by Mima. The Shaka comes back around, and EG trying to turn that one on its head, but almost backfired for them.
Yeah, they didn't quite have the members in the right place. Pete getting caught out there, has to try and stealth back towards the tower, and NIP not giving up on this one, despite the fact you can see Freeze, he's down that bottom lane, pushing the tower down. Wicked's going to have to go and deal with him, but it looks like NIP going to keep that pressure going. Pete sticks around, clears the wave. That middle turret not got much health left, nor is this top one. We do see Wicked coming down there. Dragon is going to be up in a minute. They really wanted to get these towers down so they could contest for the next Dragon.
Yeah, that'd been a great play from NAP if they could push that one out and stop really the presence of anyone in that bottom lane to go up. They've got a lot of wards down on that bottom side of the river as well. Bjergsen and Mima both on the turret right now. As Bjergsen just going in there, getting as much damage down as he can. Shaka down to less than half HP from the two of them combining onto him as well. So this turret now needs a lot of reinforcement if Evil Geniuses are going to keep that one up. There's a ward over the top from Crepo, not really revealing much of anything. And Freeze going to make 2-0 in turrets as they take down the bottom outer turret with 18 seconds for Dragon. Perfect timing for NIP here.
Yeah, perfect timing, perfect harass. They made sure it was Shaka that they managed to force back to tower, and now they're going to dive on towards Wicked. Have they got enough to take down the brick, though? That's the question. There's the stun card. There's the wild card. Everything going towards Wicked. He is going to go down in this one, but have they put too much into it? You can see the top lane turret's taking a lot of damage. The middle turret's taking a lot of damage. They're going to go for Dragon, but have they put too much effort in just taking it down?
Well, Froggen's certainly going to have that top turret away. He's got masses of minions coming in. He's making sure that the next waves don't come through to that one. Dragon will be taken here by NIP, but EG have 3 men in that mid lane. They will manage to take that one down. Mima alone versus 3, not able to hold that one off. So it brings us back to tied game now in turrets, but NIP having that lead thanks to the advantage that they've got in the farm in most places, and also, of course, the Twisted Fate passive, plus that last Dragon, leaves them 1,000 gold in the lead.
Yeah, Froggen trying to set up, so nice play. EG realizing the situation, realizing the pressure that NIP were placing on them, and countered it very well. So still even, as you say, just that 1,000 gold, that's all it is. That actually gives NIP that advantage. It does mean that they've won out in the lane phase, and in terms of farm, Wicked actually did fall a bit behind Mima. It was something that we focused on at the start in that top lane. Is what we wanted to look at between them, the fact that Mima had struggled in terms of farm in his previous matches at Gfinity, and certainly in solo queue as well, up against some stronger opponents. But Wicked at the moment, you know, you got to be fair, he's on Malphite. He's a good farmer, but he's against the Ryze. Ryze is a great farmer. The mid turret's going to go down, and there's nothing that EG could do about that. Simply Crepo all on his own. They're going to take the bottom turret, though, so they're going to just transfer it around. But look at NOP. They're already moving down here, and they're going to try and leave Froggen. Froggen's going to have that rift walk to try and escape this one. EG trying to head them off in the river, realizing that the situation was a little bit too dangerous in that bottom lane, backing off. So finally, NOP have got themselves a bit of a foothold, a bit of an advantage over EG.
And now it's Maluno just getting out to this bottom lane to make sure that that one doesn't go down. Keep that tower lead that they've nicely built up here at 3 towers to 2. But look at EG. 4 men inside of the enemy jungle right now. They are moving right down towards that red buff area as more wards get put down. So they want to make sure they've got complete vision of that one. And Maluno needs to be careful. Yeah, he's going to back away. Doesn't want to get collapsed on. Yeah,
realize that EG or everybody's going to go for this tower. This is the only objective that they really will be focusing on. And sure enough, reads it like a book and just quickly backs away. Yellow Pete's clearing out that wave. The rest of EG have actually backed away from this one because NOP have responded strongly and kind. There's Ace in the hole. It's going on to Pete. He's going to throw the lantern out. Dark Passage. Will it be enough to pick it up? Yes, he does. Barrier is used. Fantastic play from EG to escape that trap.
Oh, box put down there. There was a flash through. Wildcard's hitting Yellow Pete. Not quite got the damage to take him down. You can hardly see his health on that right-hand bar right now. Going super low from that one, but it was an interesting move from Crepo to actually go back there and put that box in. I think it actually saved him there, though. I think that saved his AD carry's life as NIP now try and get in on towards this blue. Both Wicked and Crepo are there. Unstoppable Force is available. Same happening on the other side of the map as Maluno smites that one away. So that's not available for Bjergsen or even for Mima for that fact. And now this blue buff should go over to Froggen here. And in fact, he will take it down with that force ball. So good move overall there for EG, in my opinion, getting that blue buff onto the mid lane.
Yeah, very good move. And a lot of ultimates used actually from NIP just to get that one kill. So all they got out of it was a blue buff that went to their jungler instead. The blue buff for Froggen's going to be much more useful. You see the fact that Bjergsen went and got that Twin Shadows. He's trying to keep track of Froggen, but Froggen's doing a great job of split pushing once again. This is what we saw him doing in Tenerife, and it seems to be working out well once again for Evil Geniuses. Maluno trying to head him off here, just defend out that turret. It's going to be a 2v2 situation though, because you can see Shaka's ready and waiting to go for this one, but EG will back away. And again, we have this tentative moment where both teams just play this live tactical chess match.
Oh, Mima needs to be real careful here. And as I say that, you're like, no, they don't. No, he doesn't, Joe. We're just going to leave this one. Wicked still pushing down. There's actually the teleport coming in. His Unstoppable Force comes down. Bjergsen going to do his best here. Got the slowdown onto Wicked, but he doesn't even care about that turret. He'll tank that one up all day. There is the kill, and EG going to make it 3-3 in turrets as well.
Yeah, good teleport usage there from Froggen. From the top to the bottom, quickly caught him out. And I think Bjergsen, yeah, I don't know if he'd use his ultimate, whether he used Destiny to get down there. I didn't see it actually come the icon pop up because we were looking at NIP, but his ultimate is down, so I can only assume he went down there. So actually, that's going to be down for a while. And EG now equal in turrets, just a little bit behind in gold. They're going to dive in.
Oh, Mima getting completely caught out from this one. Yellow P actually going very low. We're going to see Maluno getting in onto the backside for that one as Froggen will take down Mima. Shaka now having to go at Freeze, but he's completely out of position from this one. Freeze going to take him down. Maluno trying his best, gets the slow in there, but can he escape from this one? He leaps over the wall, but the minions are attacking him as well. Meanwhile, on the top side, Froggen having to rift walk in towards the Dragon Pit. And, well, it ends there with a 1-for-1 in the end after a crazy big fight.
Yeah, close fight there. They couldn't really get the focus. Neither team, they were kind of split targeted. And you could saw Shaker went for freeze. It's like, I'm on him, guys. I'm on the AD carry. But Pete was like, no, I'm off. Not really living up to his YOLO name, I think it's safe to say. And he just backed away and left his jungler to it. So Snoopy will be sat watching now. And I'm thinking, yeah, I've been in that situation before. I know the feeling that Shaker's got right now, but these are the problems that you're going to have when you have these new players coming into the team. We saw the same. Mima got selected quickly there, took down Rise very early on. So ironically, it was both new members of the team that both went down.
And look at the farm here as well. I mentioned it earlier whilst Froggen was falling behind at those early levels that chances are he's going to catch this one up, and he has done that. He's got a 10 CS lead right now. 500 gold overall is the lead that he's actually got on that Twisted Fate of Bjergsen. So we'll see how that impacts in these coming minutes coming into this one. Caitlyn's got a bit of an advantage there over Twitch as well. And overall, that leads to about 500 gold in the difference as well. Obviously, Yellow Pete not died just yet, and also got those 2 kills to his name. But we could see now a big fight for the Dragon. Yeah, you can see all of Evil Geniuses. The ace in the hole coming out. It's going to go on to Crepo. He's not going to be too worried about that. They did actually pull the Dragon out, but you can see that Froggen just stand at the side, waiting in the wings. They push the bottom lane in as well, so EG have a small tactical advantage. In the mid lane, you can see that Bjergsen, he's continuing to shove. Destiny is available. He's going to put a wave on towards the middle turret. Now the Dragon's going to start getting pulled out here. NOP just going to bide the time. Maluna is going to be almost certainly launching in any second now. Twin Shadows coming out there, and seems to be enough here from NMP to actually force EG away. They want to keep that Dragon going. Wicked was thinking about the unstoppable force there as he edges forward, but Dragon is now back in his pit, reset itself up as the Caitlyn traps go down as well, just to try and get that free stun onto anyone coming out there. But it's a bit of a face-off right now in the bottom side of River. Neither team really wanted to make the first move from this one. They wait until the opposition make a mistake. EG now starting off that Dragon once again. It gets down to half as NIP just looking for the road in. The hook missing from Crepo. Here comes the fight. They're going to dive in. The unstoppable force. He does manage to find the AD carry and the top laner. Mima's surely going to go down here. He's going to be focused on. Wicked's actually taking the damage. He will get dropped in there, but immediately you see Maluna dropping. Stun card onto Froggen. Have they got enough? No, the hook lands perfectly on towards Bjergsen. Froggen has to riff walk away from this one. It's a close fight. It's actually a 2-for-1 so far. Now it's a 2-for-2. Now it's a 3-for-2. Fantastic fight. Quickly turned around by Ninjas in Pyjamas, and the ace in the hole almost picked up another. And well, Ninjas in Pyjamas coming out on top with a fight that really looked like it should have gone EG's way. They just split targeted. They didn't really focus, and NIP took full advantage. And that honestly really could have been an ace there. I was quite surprised that they went for Froggen, who was the full HP target, although I probably shouldn't have been if you look at his score right now, that they wanted to focus him down. But there were a couple of guys very low in there. They wanted the full HP target down first. They wanted to get that bonus back from Froggen, who in the end managed to sneak away from that one just about with his life intact. Got that Archangel staff now finished up with his Rod of Ages. We compare that over to the other side. Bjergsen going with Lich Bane and the Twin Shadows for the start. Yeah, and that Lich Bane is going to start doing a lot of work on them towers. That's what he wants to get going. Froggen's been causing problems with the split push, but now Bjergsen's going to be able to do just the same. And that started off, you saw him doing it just before that Dragon fight, put the pressure on towards that middle turret, sent a big wave of minions in that. And at the moment, Evil Genius is actually starting to have a few problems here. NIP proving that they have just as good a team fighting as EG used to honestly be famed for. It's what the Korean scene actually were used to fear Evil Geniuses about, their late game team fights. And well, at the 25-minute mark, it seems that NOP have their number. Certainly does. I'm not going to argue with that statement. I mean, this is the danger that NIP, you know, because of Mima coming into this one, you'd expect that actually their team fighting has gone slightly downhill to that of what you'd expect from them last week when they've had, you know, Extinct in there. Just the fact that they've got more time or had more time to practice with that lineup in there. But it doesn't seem to have too much of an impact on things right now. So really interested to see how this one ends up breaking down. Wicked right now does have that Sunfire Cape working his way up towards the Frozen Heart as well. So he's going to have plenty of armor. Fact is, though, Twisted Fate and Rise between them not going to be doing too much physical damage in there as well. So we'll see how that one all works out from in the end. We've got an Aegis on both sides of things from the junglers as well, just to help out with those stats.
Yeah, NIP thought about shoving that mid lane. You saw that the fact that Wicked and Froggen were both off in that top lane. Froggen backed off to buy. Wicked stayed there, and actually NIP were unsure of his positioning. So since they didn't have a great ward advantage, certainly over in the top area of the jungle of EG, they didn't want him to get caught out by something coming out of the side. So wisely backed away, keeping the force, and EG trying to force something here. They're going to come around the side. They see Maima, he's going to get caught by the unstoppable force. You can see Froggen, he's going to come across. Nullsphere goes down. They're backing away now. Bjergsen comes in with the support and does force them away. That was a couple of ultimates used there by Evil Geniuses and NOP. Twin Shadows going out. There's going to be the ride in the wave. Is it going to be enough? But Crepo comes flying through from the side. The Hook's doing a great job. Shaka actually flashes away from this one. Froggen Rift walks away. Finally, they get a kill. It's a second one now for Yellow Pete. And it was a great fight for EG, using that advantage, simply taking away the vision, and EG, two members coming across the side, caught them all out.
Yeah, Shaka was really strong in that role as well, using the ultimate just to spread everyone completely out as they dive straight in on top of EG, and they've got a lot of mobility in that team, and then Yellow Pete just coming in from the side, able to clean things up. He's now at 4-1-3, and that will be turret number 4 for Evil Geniuses, and they're still behind on the goal, funnily enough, whilst being ahead in turrets and kills, which just shows you how strong NIP have been so far in terms of that farm game and that dragon control coming in as well. Maima himself is getting some getting that Negatron cloak in there as well. We've seen the runic bulwark finished off for NIP, so already they're going to have a little bit of an extra edge when it comes to that next fight. But the fact is, EG, we've said it before, they are a team that were famed for their team fighting. And if they can bring 80% of what we saw from those team fights in the likes of Season 2, then they're still dangerous, whatever the case.
Just in that mid lane, Froggen actually coming in, going aggressive on Maima, making sure he gets the golems away from him as well. Making sure he gets every little bit of gold and stacks it up. Has got that needlessly large rod as well, so if he gets the Rabadon's death cap, he's going to be doing some serious damage when that next team fight comes around. He is up to level 16 as well, equal with Maima on level, but they're the both highest in the game. As I say that, he at 17, so continues to be the highest. He is, of course, split pushing the whole time. EG clearing out the vision advantage that they have over NIP, and now the focus will be this bottom turret. You can see Maima already there, starting to back away. The rest of NIP heading down to this bottom lane, but EG have the numbers advantage at the moment. Are they going to be able to push and get some damage down? It's already at just around a quarter health taken off it. They are going to get a good wave. They're going in, Joe.
They are going to go in for this one. Maima actually pushing back there a little bit, as well as the Twin Shadows. And little ghosts chasing down, getting the slows off, but NIP doing the job there. They've stopped that turret going down for now. Lost about half of its health in that one single siege, so we'll see if EG go back. It looks, though, like they've decided to back away from that one. Not going to put too much on the line and risk things for that, and they will just walk away. Froggen going to go back to his split push that we've been seeing from him time and time again here. Now, Kassadin's a perfect one to be doing that as well. It's so very mobile. As you said, that Rabadon's death cap going to be coming up here pretty soonish. Although you never know if Froggen might end up going up towards the Zhonya's and going a little bit differently from that one. But either way, it's a lot of damage coming out of the Kassadin. It's going to be hard to stop doing what he's doing so successfully so far.
Yeah, NIP seem to be struggling to keep the waves clear. They don't just really have someone to keep sending off the side. At the moment, you see Maluno down that bottom line. He's been the one that's actually cleared the waves a few times. Now we're seeing Maima going back to that top, but it's Froggen that's actually doing it. He literally went from bottom to top, cleared out the mid lane on the way past, and then cleared out the top lane, keeping that farm piling up right now, way ahead of Bjergsen. As you can see, there's a 30+ CS difference. Big difference still for Maima versus Wicked, but that's because it's all going on to Froggen now. He's the man that's doing all the damage. He's driving around the map and clearing everything out. Of course, with the mobility that you get in Kassadin, it's no surprise. And look at this, 5 seconds to go on that dragon timer. EG want it. This is going to be their second dragon if they get it. I don't see NIP responding to this one.
No chance from there. Got 4 men still on that top side of the map. And one thing that we should know, while we've got this whole split pushing thing going on from EG, they're quite happy to send Froggen top side, to send Wicked bottom side. Let's not forget, 2 teleports they have. Both of those champions have a teleport on them, and you can't defend a split push in the top and a bottom lane with just Twisted Fate to move around from Destiny and really rely on that.
When NIP thought about it, I thought, hello, are we going to get a base raise chance? No, we're not. But Froggen puts such a big burst on Freeze, takes half his hit points off. That buys EG the time to take the bottom in a turret.
Yeah, no chance after that. They didn't know that Kassadin was waiting inside the bush, and Froggen, he's not messing around. He's going to go in there, gets an ace in the hole for his troubles, but that really not scratching the surface too much. And that's the great thing. Pretty tanky with the build he's gone, as well as having that mass damage that you expect to see from that Kassadin coming in. Next target, is that going to be that middle inner turret? It's the final one left up on the entire map right now for NIP. So slowly but surely, EG doing step-by-step decisions to get them into the lead and get the ball rolling towards victory.
Yeah, systematically taking out those turrets, and as you mentioned, that middle one, maybe the next focus, or will it be the Baron? That's the question. Rabadon's death cap now has just been completed by Froggen. He continues his roam around the map, continues to clear out wave after wave of farm and keep that gold rolling. And, well, Bjergsen, while being on Twisted Fate, has just not been able to keep up the mobility, frankly. He's trying to get that Rabadon's death cup himself, or it could be Azonia's actually, considering he is on Twisted Fate, whether he's going to use that ultimate to try and bait out something. But again, look at the map. Froggen heading down that bottom, Rift walking his way through, gonna get another wave clear, another push on towards it, and then he can just react so quickly. He's got that teleport available should he require it, and NIP seem a little bit lost as to how to react to this tactic that EG are putting across them.
Yeah, and no real surprise. I mean, what do you do? 2 teleports in there, 2 champions that can push these waves out very, very quickly. Obviously, one of them being a lot more mobile than the other, but you've only really got Twisted Fate that you can afford to send away from this push. So they've got to make a decision at some point, NIP, as to what they try to do, because all right, you have to stop the Kassadin, but the chances of actually locking him down are pretty much 0 at this point. I mean, Froggen, as soon as he gets the sniff of someone coming near him, he is straight off and out of there. He's not even risking that one happening. So NIP are going to have to make a decision. You can see that they've done that now. They started pushing at least with 4 men towards this bottom lane. Froggen sees it because of the wards that they got down and decided to back off from that one. He's just waiting, in fact, by the Golems here to maybe get a bit of a sneaky kill onto the likes of Freeze, who we saw one combo is half of his health right now.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether he was thinking of stealing the red buff as well. NIP, they had 5 members in that mid lane for so long. They didn't really know what to do. It's discussion. You're thinking, well, Bjergsen's now got the Zhonya, so maybe he's going to start feeling aggressive. But honestly, it tells me that Destiny is going to be used. They're going to check out the Baron. They thought Baron was maybe being done. They're going for a joke.
Yeah, there's the hook coming down. Bjergsen now popping his Zhonyas from that one as they dive on towards Yellow Pete at the back, the box down. But Maluno's been absolutely hammered in there. Obviously not going to go down just yet because of his passive, as Freeze will take out Shaka. So in the end, that ends up in a 1-0. Maluno did manage to jump away from that one, but they're still chasing off from this one. Yellow Pete starting to move in there with the stealth, but NIP will be happy with that hit and run, but it means the next time Maluno obviously not going to have his passive available.
Yeah, passive went down, and honestly, NIP didn't gain a great deal from it. It did see, though, great usage of Azonia's Hourglass already from Bjergsen. Did manage to fall out. You saw Froggen did his burst combo, so he was effectively useless in a great portion of that fight, which is why we saw most of them surviving. So good usage so far. NIP managed to fool them, but I don't think they're going to get fooled the second time. They may not have spotted the fact that he just picked up that Azonia's just before that fight. Come into the fight, did his standard Messiah tactic. Didn't bait enough, though. And it was still passive burn. That passive's going to be down for a while, the Bloodwell of Maluno. So it's interesting that they didn't manage to get him, actually, straight afterwards. He managed to flash out of it, but you'd have thought that they'd followed up the kill.
Yeah, I certainly expected it. I mean, it's not like he's going anywhere with that passive on, so you know when he's coming back up. But I guess they just were looking for those other targets on the other sides, which obviously didn't quite work out for him with Freeze putting down so much damage now with that Infinity Edge, the last Whisper coming out, and he's got the Zeal, got a Vamp Scepter in there as well. So he's doing great damage on all fronts. You can see that Infinity Edge with the Phantom Dancer Last Whisper is where we have Yellow Pete right now. And their kills very, very similar. CS still 20 in the lead of Freeze, but as they start to get up towards these 6-item builds, then that doesn't matter as much. And we've just seen actually the Banshee's Veil being added in now, which obviously protects him for the likes of the Unstoppable Force from, maybe even the Twitch Slow from the hook from Crepo. So there's a lot in there that Banshee's Veil can really, work around.
Yeah, he was actually... I noticed he'd been sat on them items for a while, so he bought that outright and the Vampiric Scepter, sold off the Adorn's Blade. And EG, though, they're back in the middle, and look at this, NOP out of position. They're all off the side. They were getting the blue buff down. EG don't realize it, though, because they've not got the vision there. Now we just see the pink ward going down. If they'd have realized they had a ward on that blue buff, they would have almost certainly pushed and took down that final in the turret.
And the good thing that they have, I talked about Wicked earlier on, some Fightcake building up towards that Frozen Heart that he now has. Turrets don't really do a lot of damage to Wicked. They've got a very strong dive tool just on its own there. That unstoppable force underneath the tower is going to mean that it's hard for NIP to actually stick around when it comes to defending those towers a little bit later on as well. And that's going to be a little bit of a worry for them.
Oh, it's still a close game. The hook on Maluno, no passive, remember. If he goes down, that is all done for. Sheka as well getting caught out. Looks like Mima will manage to take that one down. It's Freezer picked up the end kill. Mima getting caught out, silenced out there. Wicked didn't use unstoppable force in that fight. Not a great deal used by both teams. Spray and pray. And the box used by Crepo. So double ultimates for both teams. Actually 3 technically because Mima's, but that's going to come up very quickly in the reset. So, again, it was a 1-for-1. Close fight. Gold is still just 200 between the two teams. It's 7-9 in kills. And that 5-3 tower advantage really isn't telling right now. NOP still looking very confident in the fights.
And look at this. They're actually pushing out from this one up towards that inner turret in the mid lane. There's the Twin Shadows being thrown down. They get some damage down onto Wicked, which is certainly more damage than the towers and the likes of Freezer doing to him right now, as he's got that full armor build, pretty much just a Negatron cloak, which he actually picked up as his first item after that Doran's Blade in the very early stages of this one. As the ace in the hole just kind of fizzling out as they get out of range from that one. The Wicked had to go down to this bottom lane as well. There's a massive minions actually pushing up from that one, as is Froggen in the top lane as well, which gives the opportunity to Nip to push straight through. They're going to take it.
Yeah, instant pings. There's like one down here, one up there. What are they doing? Okay, we'll take the tower in the mid lane for free that you guys have been dawdling over for a while. So just like that, Ninjas in Pyjamas take away a key tower in that inner lane, and still so close. We're approaching the 40-minute mark. The death timers are going to start increasing. These team fights are going to be vital very soon, and it's almost certainly going to be around either the Baron. I'm not too sure whether either team's actually going to get drawn into a Baron fight, though. Neither team's really shown a great deal of any sniff at going towards it. Dragon has spawned, though, and EG going to go for their third, but NFP are close. I don't think they're going to contest, though.
No. Free's actually working over there, but that's because the red buff's up, and now it's going to be Dragon number 3 going down for Evil Geniuses, and that gives them 1,500 gold lead right now, which is not a lot. We're 40 minutes into this game already, and for me, EG, the fact is that they've got those 2 teleports, and they've got the ability to completely split push out, but the fact is that they've just really not gone from that, and I'm wondering what the problem there is really. We heard from N-Rated actually last week in Tenerife when we got a chance to sit down for him, that one of the first things he worked on with EG was the calls, the communication within the team. So I'm wondering if that's playing a role here in this one for EG, and they've not been able to really find an opening. Although at the same time, that lead is just so small that it's easy for us to just read out the gold there at the top, but from their point of view, with towers being so close, with kills and dragons being so close, they probably don't feel that they've got even a lead in this game at this point.
No, and honestly, a 1,000 gold lead probably at this stage
isn't a lead.
Isn't really a lead. Yeah, it doesn't equate to a great deal, and they feel it. They still feel close. They don't feel they've got the strength in the team fights just yet. And that's actually surprising. The fact that they have picked, obviously, Malphite for that unstoppable force. Froggen, though, with the Oracle on now, because he's built up so much gold, because he's almost got the items stacked out, he's got that 5-item build already. His Twin Shadow's going to keep on chasing. I don't think it's going to catch him, and it does force him away. But Froggen now actually with that Oracle, perfect person to have it on. He hasn't died yet. You can see he's at 404. He's so mobile that he can hit and run on those wards, and he's going to take away the vision from NIP, keeping the pressure on that bottom inhibitor turret.
Yeah, and this is where EG, in my eyes, should be maybe starting to push up this middle lane right now, because Froggen was on the bottom side. He's gone down to that inhib turret. NIP got all 5 men in that mid lane. They need to create this opening for the split push that they're obviously trying to do for this last 20 minutes almost of the game.
Yeah, and Wicked's also built up a big wave on that top as well, so that's going to push down as well. And you can see Wicked happy to take a tower hit, just checking, just testing, see how much it takes, and
doesn't
put
his shield
do
out.
a great deal. Of course, the first tower hit's going to be weaker than the second and the third, and as they follow through, it gets a little bit stronger, but Froggen still causing problems. He's now just Got one ward to find, actually. But he had to taken that one away. And you can see EG sat ready and waiting. They want to actually get that Banshee's Veil down on Freeze, possibly. Ace in a hole used on Froggen. Use the Seraph Embrace to block that one out so it doesn't take a great deal of damage.
Yeah, nicely done. Good decision, in my opinion, from that one. Stay as healthy as he possibly can from it. We can see that minion wave on the top lane. It's still coming down. He's still pushing right in there. EG going to be starving NIP even more than they've had for these last 10-15 minutes, taking away another blue buff. But as you said, you talked about Baron earlier on, and I'm not sure that it's really a question for either of these teams right now, because neither of them seem very willing to fight, to go heads-on 5 versus 5 at this point, and certainly you don't want to be throwing a Baron away and possibly an 8 or 3 or 4 kills even at this stage when it is just so very close.
Yeah, strange resource choices there for EG as well. The fact that they caused that problem, like we mentioned, their top lane had gone there. Bjergsen went to deal with it, but EG chose to go for the blue buff already. They could have took a 5-4-on-4 advantage instead. Of course, with Destiny, it's not going to be an advantage for too long, which is why we see Bjergsen just been using that Destiny. He thought they'd gone for Baron. They had to check it. That's not going to be available. Bjergsen does get caught out by quick null sphere there, and that did a lot of damage already. So a lot of ability power stacked up on Froggen. We saw how much damage that just single null sphere did. And that's going to be a problem for them if Freeze was to have that Banshee's Veil go down. But they are still having a lot of stance dancing. Look where Froggen's going, though. He's still sneaking around the side of them.
Yeah, he's controlling that bottom side of the jungle of NIP right now with the Oracle. Oh, Deficio caught out of position here. Froggen's like, well, I can't really stick around and fight with that one. NIP coming back to him, trying to stay in the position that they've got, but EG are closing in right now. Stun card goes on Twiki, but they get Maluno.
They're going to try and catch on towards him. Maluno gets taken down. Passive's going to pop up. He's going to know. Look at the damage coming from Mima, though. That just blows Shaker straight up. Wicked taking a lot of damage as well. That's going to be Maluno. His passive burnt. Mima's going to get focused on Seraph's Embrace, just blocking out the damage. This is such a tight fight. Freeze is doing all the damage from the back. Pete stealths himself up, and they all back away again. And it's the 2 junglers that go down, and Ninjas and Pyjamas, they're going to try and drive it through towards the inhibitor. Don't think they've got enough, though. But the rest of EG, they're going to react quickly.
Yeah, they're going to try for this one at least. They are moving in towards that turret. Yellow Pete just off to the side, wondering, can I get in there? Is there an opportunity? But we see the home guards on both Wicked and Froggen get them right back out to that inhib turret, prevent any damage coming in from that one. And again, a 1-for-1. We can almost call it a 2-for-1 because Maluno obviously coming straight back up. He almost escaped again, by the way. If it wasn't for Froggen singling him out and chasing down, he probably would have escaped that one. But that's the thing about Maluno. He's quite happy to go in there and say, look at me, I'm right in your face. You've got to do something. Take as much abilities, especially those ultimates, as he can. And then, you know, he's not even dead from that. He's happy to take as much as he can away from the rest of his team and give them that chance, as you saw there, to just turn the fight as soon as he goes down afterwards, knowing that EG don't have too much to throw at the rest of the team.
And you saw how potent Mima was as well, because he just walked in behind it and effectively blew up 3 members of EG. They had to back away from that fight. They couldn't get involved. And Freeze actually bought himself a lot of time. The fact that they focused on Maluno, Froggen wasn't on Freeze at all there. Freeze was just free farming, free hitting at the back there, and that's what you want as an AD carry or marksman, whatever you'd like to be called these days. They want to have that free time to do all the damage, but Pete, in the meantime, he was getting focused by NIP, so NIP still seem to have the better focus in terms of team fights. Look at Froggen going aggressive there. He may well have baited his entire team into this one.
Yeah, they may just fight this one as the Nami tidal wave comes around. Mima going very low. There's the unstoppable forces. They do dive in. Maluno's in there as well. He will die. That's a double kill coming down for Froggen, and that is 2-for-0. EG going to be happy with that one, and they're going to turn towards the Baron. I'm not quite sure about it, though. They're putting a couple of wards down. Wicked actually started to recall from this one. He will recall himself, but NIP not going to give this one up, and EG are going to maybe try and set up a trap from that. But look how much health they lose instantly as Wicked cancelled his teleport. That was interesting.
Cancelled his teleport, and I think they're realizing it's a very dangerous play to go for that Baron. There's Destiny being used once again by Bjergsen, keeping the vision on them, and Ewa Genius has realized the situation. I think they were maybe just trying to bait for it that time, see if they could catch someone out from NIP. The fact that Wicked did go back, buy up them items, quickly try and teleport back in. They were like, no, they're not taking the bite, though they are now going in. This may be a good time because they had the vision. They saw NIP back off, and they have taken it half health already. They're going to get it before NIP responds.
Well, for me, Bjergsen has just gifted them that Baron right there. He used his destiny, and you know that's one tool that you've got for vision, all well and good. But the fact is, he used it then to move down to the bottom lane, and they saw that he's there. And the fact is that a couple of them were just coming out of the base after being dead. Without that Twisted Fate there, they'd probably say, well, we just go for this one. So not sure that was really the best call out of NIP to send Bjergsen down towards his bottom lane. It's given Evil Geniuses that Baron. Now they've got, look at the goal, 5,000 that's turned into, with you know just that 1 or 2 fights really happening on top of the Baron as well. So they've really pulled ahead on that front. The question is, will they feel secure enough now to actually do anything with the Baron?
Yeah, and in terms of gold, it's a big advantage for Froggen right now. The fact he's up 7-0-4. I think he just saw he passed the 18,000 gold marker there, way ahead of Bjergsen. Freeze the second highest at around about 16,500. That means he's just popped in towards that Blade of the Rune King. He's got the Infinity Jets and Phantom Dancer. So Freeze is very strong at Caitlyn now, but Yellow Pete is already up to that power as well. And honestly, he's actually not the scary focus. It is Froggen. And of course, we just saw him doing that quick burst combo. If Freeze's Banshee's Veil's down, he may well get close to one shot by Froggen if he manages to catch him out. And his positioning so far, though, has been fantastic, and it's actually Mima that's been the real headache for EG.
Yeah, and he's putting down so much damage at this point. Got that Spirit Visage in there now. Void Staff done earlier on. Froggen again, Oracle running. We'll see the new Oracle, I guess we can call it, here in 3.9. Got the slightly change, or reduced vision range, I guess we can call, plus 4 minutes instead of 5. Persist through the death. Not that seems to be a problem this game for Froggen anyway, who's 7-0-4, not died a single time. And EG now going to be looking to move in. The fact is, though, NIP have got a lot of wave clear on their team.
Yeah, it's interesting the fact that now it does persist through the death. It's probably been ingrained on the teams that guy's got an Oracle, focus him. But now it's not quite so important. So interesting, obviously, that whether the supports get a bit of a free reign now that they don't get quite so focused. Of course, there's still the squishies that everybody loves to get a kill on. NIP, though, they're clearing and defending this bottom turret. Remember, EG do have that Baron. It's got around about 70 to 80 seconds left on it. And Froggen, he's getting himself some free time in that mid lane, some sexy time with the tower, and takes it down no problem.
And that's what they've been trying to do since minute 29 or something like that. Like, no, 20 minutes ago.
Well, it wouldn't be an EG
to do
game
that
without this.
Well, of course. I mean, we've come to expect it. We were like, you know, get Shaka in there, change of play style. Nope. Not today. And well, they're gonna. It's a thing that works for them. It's tried and tested from EG's side. So they know what they're doing with this one as a hook comes flying through the wall, and Officio just a little bit out of range with that one, as Froggen getting close in there as well. They've got good vision over the top of the wall from this, and they'll continue to do damage as they now move in towards that middle inhibitor. Froggen has gone back down to the bottom, so they decided the mass at the bottom is not quite what it needs to be, so they're going with a mass in the middle.
Yeah, the top lane's actually pushed by NIP as well, so whether they're going to back off. They want to use this Baron, but there's not a great deal left on it. It's got to be down to about 20, 30 seconds at max right now. Yeah, just looking across it, you can see it's about 20 seconds on that timer. We are seeing a wild camera going, and they are going to quite catch Maluno getting caught out a little bit there. There's a lot of damage coming out from both AD carries. You're seeing some big numbers, 870 coming out from Pete. We're seeing 1,000 plus from Frito, so clearly with more damage on towards the minions. It's not the minions they're going to be fighting. With that Quicksilver Sash that Pete's obviously picked up. Oh, look at this. They've bought themselves some free time at the bottom. And just like that, they chunk half the hit points off it.
Yeah, and that's what they need to do. Any little opportunity. Those turrets aren't going to be lasting very long whatsoever, even if it's just Froggen there with Cassidy, who puts down ridiculous amounts of damage in there. Wicked taking a bit of a blast. The hook coming out from Crepo again. And they've managed to fend off this middle push, but Froggen's going to go bottom again.
He is going to go bottom, keeping the mobility going, as she can do with Kassadin. And once that wave comes in there, you can see he's already down there. It's just Bjergsen he's up against right now. Takes half the hit points off Bjergsen. And that's just a simple one combo from Froggen using those spells. And that's going to force Bjergsen back. Now they're going to get free time in the middle. Mima had to use his ultimate to clear the last wave. It's back up again, though. We are seeing Bjergsen. He's going to pop his ultimate out there. Shaken. Going to get back. No. He gets taken down. Bjergsen actually not going too aggressive, but Pete's been caught out of position. Uses that QSS. Is it going to be enough? With that Ignite, gets the slow down. Crepo comes in, gets the shield on, and quickly lifesteals it back up. They did manage to get down Shaka, but still, the towers took a hell of a beating from EG.
And the thing is, that's going to slow EG down even more now because because of how that went down, they're going to be so much more scared of doing it again. I mean, of course, the Baron buff did run out for them there as well, which not the ideal situation, but they're going to come back in with a bit more. We see more Oracles picked up. We can see the supports both running with that Locket of the Iron Solari right now. We've got Randuin's Omen finish for Shaka as well, along with obviously both the Runic Bulwarks in there. Wicked got himself the Abyssal Scepter down now as well, along with that Spirit Visage. So now that magic resist that he was maybe lacking a little bit earlier on is definitely coming back in. And look at this, NIP decided to push right out. Froggen was in the top lane, just farming that one out. So he's going to have to react to this one pretty quickly. Well,
Froggen's just off at the side. Are they going to get in? This tower's taking a heck of a beating already. NIP going to take it. The first inhibitor, the turret of the game, would you believe, goes down to NIP, despite all the pushing that Evo Genius is doing. Froggen comes around the side, though, puts one little burst combo. Unfortunately for him, it was Maluna. They went in, took him down to half hit points. Wicked going aggressive. He's trying to get out, and EG are not going to be happy about simply being caught out of position. That was all because they saw Froggen at the bottom and Pete at the top and said, guys, we can rush, we can get in, we'll take that turret down. And that now gives EG a real headache because that is wide open. And with a Twisted Fate on your team, they could get in and get that in him before they can even react to it. Froggen goes a little aggressive on Freeze. Oh, look at that turnaround. That combo was not as strong as this time around. With that Banshee's Veil on, he doesn't do a great deal to Freeze.
Yeah, and losing one element of that combo is definitely not what you want, and Freeze making a great decision from that. He saw the turnaround on damage that he could do to him after it, so that's dangerous stuff for Froggen, knowing that now he can't quite get that AD carry down when it comes to being in the jungle, and he'll be killed himself if he fails to do it with that single burst of damage. Bjergsen going to be getting his blue buff. Froggen the same over on the other side of the map, and 52 minutes into this one, something tells me that there's still a while to go.
We are almost certainly going to pass the hour mark, I feel.
Yes.
Baron, though, with that 12 seconds, that could speed things up, or it could slow things down. We're not too sure which way it could go. Destiny is available for Bjergsen and EG. They're stacked back in the mid lane, and actually, NIP are a bit out of position here. You can see Maluno's off at the side, Deficio off at the side, Myra at the side as well. They could potentially shove straight down, but because they've got no ward vision there, they didn't realize this. They could have took that middle inhibitor turret instead. Now we're going to see them coming around. They've just realized their mistake and gone, oh, damn it, they were all there. Nevertheless, it is NIP back in position.
And so much about position in this game right now. I mean, at 53 minutes in, you die and you're down for a very, very long team. As we see EG setting up in the brush. There was a ward there, so I was getting a bit excited over nothing for a while. Didn't quite get the trap set up that they maybe have would have wanted from that. And there we see them going into Deficio. Loses half of his health, and NIP are probably going to have to back right off from this one. The problem is that Baron is there right now, so they either back away and stay healthy, or, you know, and therefore give up that Baron, or they stick around and risk having a fight where they've already lost a lot of health.
Well, Froggen just backed. I can only assume he's teleporting in, actually. Teleporting for this fight. They want to go for it. They're going to dive towards Myra. They haven't quite caught out. Wicked hasn't used Unstoppable Force yet. He's holding it, waiting for his opportunity. He doesn't want to waste up Maluna this time around. Crepo was taken low from that fight. Froggen had just back, like I said. I think all he did is bought a couple of potions. I'm not too sure. Maybe a second Oracle. Maybe that's what he went back to buy. But they have stepped away. Nobody died again. EG looked very strong, and now there's Destiny. There it is used. How long will that last? They haven't gone to the top. The rest of NIP have realized they could be going Baron. EG immediately, though, step away. And sure enough, this Baron dance is going to drag it out a little bit longer.
I think Froggen went back to buy EG some time to finish off this one. But the funny thing is, NIP know that they've backed away from this one, and look, they're going for it. Wicked is actually on the bottom side here, so they've got the possibility of coming in.
But he still has Unstoppable Force. He didn't use it in that fight, and they are all in a really scary position right now. They're waiting for Freeze. Oh, that cask was thrown. They wanted to catch him out there. Froggen flashes away. There's Unstoppable Force, but he's going to go down already. That's the frontline tank down. Pete gets dropped off the back there. Mima picking up a double kill. Shaka comes in one by one. EG making mistake after mistake. And now it's only Crepo and Froggen left. They can't do a thing about this one. Froggen's going to run away, and that's going to be a Baron for NIP. Fantastic play.
What a play out of NIP coming in from that. They saw that EG started Baron with Destiny. They saw that they backed away. They went straight in there. EG, a bit questionable how they approached it, in my opinion. They came in one by one, and easy to pick them off in that scenario. The three of them together could have actually taken kills and forced NIP themselves to back away, but now NIP have got the buff, they got the gold from it, and they're pushing up towards the inhibs. They're going to take it down, and they might try and close out the game.
They've got 30-second death timers. It's entirely possible. Once that minion wave comes in, Maluno pretty tanky as well. That hook's not going to land. That's going to be a Nexus turret. Also, will it be one? Froggen goes in. Zhonya's hourglass used just at the right time. Has he bought enough time? Rift walks away. Yes, he gets away. That's going to be a Nexus turret going down. Second one will follow. And it looks just like that. A quick turnaround. Ninjas in Pyjamas will take the game against Evil Geniuses. And, well, EG were in control for most of the fight. NIP with a fantastic turnaround. And that's the danger of when the game starts getting to that hour mark. The death timers are so long that one mistake, one big mistake, as SK Gaming have learned so many times in the past against Fnatic, can cost them the game. And Ninjas in Pyjamas with Mima for the first game pick up a great win.
And the funny thing is, it's not quite what we usually see at the Baron. You know, we usually see a team being lured in there to make a mistake in a fight, but it was just so well played from NIP. They knew that EG were doing Baron. They popped Destiny. They walked away from it and saw them walking away, so they said, well, let's do it right now. They walked straight in there. They're killing off Baron. Then EG, you know, Wicked came in there first. He used the unstoppable force when he had no health left. Then we saw Shaka coming in from the side, and one by one they fell. And NIP, they baited that out.